Hello to all of my Players Voice supporters and my barbershop fans. You know who I am. I'm Mark Gray, 1/3 of the Barbershop Podcast on Players Voice. Everywhere I go, the number one question that I do get and comment that I get is, hey Mark, what's up with your man cave? I saw your man cave. When can I get an invite? When can I get an invite? When can we see the man cave? You know, we do shows and everybody's always talking about the background. Oh, that's a great man cave. So today, as we start off the new season of the Barbershop Podcast, coming soon, so make sure you guys check that out, subscribe, like the channel, stay up to date on the new podcast coming this season, starting next week actually. Today we'll start off episode 1 by giving you guys a tour of the actual barbershop man cave where the show is shot weekly. Go through a couple pieces, tell you where they came from, a couple stories behind them, and overall just share my personal journey through history. So come on, let's take a look. First thing you'll notice when you open the door and you come into this man cave is that you're going to know instantly you are in a Terp man cave. The sign says so, the red walls, the white walls. Two teams we support in here, the Terps and the Tampa Bay Bucks. So this is a Terps man cave. Start off with the great Deion Sanders, who isn't a fan of prime time. Probably this is my second favorite athlete of all time. The second greatest athlete to ever live. Over here, the entire Big 3 Season 1 autograph shirt. So this is everybody who took part in Season 1 of the Big 3. Probably one of my favorite pieces. A couple Hall of Famers on here. Dr. J, Gary Payton, Rick Barry, George Gervin. Rest in peace, Rasul Butler signed that. You got Chauncey Billups. No matter what, Season 1, the whole tour is on there. So that's probably one of my favorite pieces. Captain Jack, who doesn't love Steven Jackson? Sign that for me. Stack, family love Stack. Bonzi Wells, one of the funniest dudes I ever met. Definitely one of my guys. MG, appreciate the love. Bonzi Wells. The last game at Cole Fieldhouse, I was actually in attendance for this game. Pretty dope. We went on to win a national championship that year. Kenyon Martin. David Hawkins. See that there? David Hawkins, Temple's third all-time leading scorer. Like I said, probably not one of the most famous people, but in this here basement, he is definitely one of the most famous people because that is family. Lamont Jordan. He is actually my son's godfather, and you know, we became real good friends in college. Ended up spending the last year with him in New York, and then we moved out to Oakland. Was out there with him for 3 years, and this is just kind of dope piece of history going back to 2000. Hearing him the Heisman, you know, the Heisman race between him and Mike Vick. He was a preseason favorite to win the Heisman. Kind of got off to a slow start, and that got derailed, but still can't take that away from him. So that's pretty dope. Just a couple of other pictures. Me and Kenyon and DJ. Season 2, Three's Company, the whole team. Barry Sanders. That's pretty dope. Picture of Barry Sanders. Quentin Richardson. The Terps national championship team. Did an interview with them on the 10-year anniversary center court of the stadium. So that's me. And my co-host, Byron Mouton. Chris Wilcox, Taj Holden, Mike Marcis. Pretty dope. And of course, Allen Iverson. This is about 30 minutes before the first ever Big 3 game in New York. So that is actually history. This is the first time, you know, Allen Iverson took the court again. And this is in the locker room, just hanging out in the locker room. And of course, the Big 3 founder, Ice Cube, 2 years ago, in Las Vegas at the Combine. My favorite athlete of all time, no question, Bo Jackson. That is the easiest answer for me. I had this poster over my bed as a kid. It was actually the only poster I had in my room. And so first thing I needed to do when I got my man cave was go get my Bo Jackson poster. As we enter the man cave, when we come down the steps, we make a quick right, and we are on my children's side of my boys' side. The young men now, we'll call them, their side of the man cave. So they get their side, and they get to do whatever they want with their side. So start off with Albert McClellan, undrafted rookie out of Marshall. Probably one of the least known people in this basement, but that is my guy. Ravens fan. Met him about 3-4 years ago. He found out my kid, we were just talking, he found out my kids were a Ravens fan. Started sending stuff to him immediately. Autograph this, autograph that, a helmet with the whole defense autograph. Just a great dude. One of my favorite players all the way around. It's the only Ravens jersey you ever see me wear. That's Albert McClellan. Like I said, he was undrafted. 9 years and counting. Still on the team. He's got himself a Super Bowl ring, all of that. Probably the only thing in my cave that I'm not exactly proud of, and that would be a Joe Flacco poster that my kids, like I said, they are Ravens fans. So, boom, there you go. Hopefully they'll get older, and when they get older, they'll realize that that's not a good look. Here's some pictures that they have come across during their little journey through sports. Kenny Martin, Juan Dixon, their uncle DeMar Johnson, Drew Gooden, Coach Turgeon, Allen Iverson, the other uncle, Lamont Jordan. This is just their journey through sports. To be honest with you, I care more about that than they do. They literally do not care at all. The only person I can say they were slightly impressed with Allen Iverson. That was about it. Over here, DeMar Johnson, like I said, is my co-host on the podcast. For those who do not know, DeMar Johnson was the #1 player in the country coming out of high school. Went to Cincinnati, did 1 year, he was a 6th pick in the 2000 draft, and had an NBA career. Well, actually, most of you guys should know him. He's my co-host, and if not, you'll see him later in the broadcast at some point in time. Was unable to take my kids to the basketball game. They were disappointed because they wanted to meet Allen Iverson. So as a result, I had Iverson sign his jersey and give that to him. So when they woke up the next morning, while they weren't able to go to the game, they did get a personalized to Darius and Isaiah from Allen Iverson, the answer picture of him signing the jersey for him. Their favorite player on the Big Three, Nate Robinson. They did get to meet Nate Robinson, bring him the poster. Nate signed that poster for them to Darius and Isaiah. This picture from the dunk contest. His little quote, "Hold that." Nate Robinson signed jersey for them. This is where my kids spend basically their entire weekend. You'll see right now there's random games on here. I think it's 2K, and I don't know what this other one is. But all they do play, just like any other kid and anybody else in the world, is Fortnite at all times, every day. This is a Fortnite wall, I basically would say. It's a little different than when we were kids. I don't really understand that, but for some reason, they can't even play against each other. They have to have their own television. So each one has their own television. They each have their own PlayStation, and they basically just play Fortnite. They have 1 million games, and they play none of them. All they play is Fortnite. Each one of them has their own chair. It does get very cold down here. We are in the Northeast, so it is actually very cold down here in the basement. So you will see every single chair in the basement has its own blanket. They get one Ravens blanket, one Orioles blanket. They have their little joystick, whatever card thing you want to play. Boom. Starting with Ron Artest, Big Three, cool guy, love him. Chauncey Billups, the captain, Mr. Big Shot. Nothing but respect for that guy. That guy is a true leader in every sense of the word. One of the most underrated point guards in NBA history, but just definition of leader in every single which way known to man. Baron Davis was actually our co-captain this year on Three's Company. That's my guy. Every jersey you're going to see is actually autographed. And just while we're on the subject, I do not purchase any autographs. Any autographs that you see, I actually met the person, had them sign it. And in most cases, the jersey was, game worn or given to me. I'm a collector, so to me, the definition of collecting is that you actually go out there and collect the autographed or, merchandise yourself. Memorabilia. I don't have any knock on anybody who sells merchandise or memorabilia. Get your hustle on. Me personally, I just feel like the autograph or the memorabilia is about the story. So each jersey you see up here, there's a story behind. Can't tell you all of them. We'd be here all day. But to me, that's what it's about. So I do not purchase any memorabilia. I always get inbox all the time. Do you want to buy this jersey or do you want to buy that jersey? And the answer is no. But again, it's not. It's just because I would like to actually have the experience of meeting that person and exchanging and having that jersey given to me than actually purchase it. Amari Stoudemire, I believe he was actually ahead of his time athletically. One of the first 7-footers that had guard skills. Dude was just a freak of nature. Should be in the Hall of Fame. The most underrated center in my book in NBA history is Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal could block shots. Jermaine O'Neal could play defense. Jermaine O'Neal had footwork. Jermaine O'Neal had an elbow jumper. Jermaine O'Neal got rebounds. Great teammate. Athletic. Unfortunately, he didn't have health on his side for a lot of his career. But never mentioned, he's got to be a top 10 big man if you ask me. Great dude. I can't say it enough. Great dude and just underrated. Again, like I said, health probably caused a lot of that, and there's a reason. But he really, if you just think about what a center could do, Jermaine O'Neal could do it all. Elton Brand, first guy ever gave me an interview, so got nothing but respect for him. He is a Duke guy, but he did give me my first interview ever, so we'll always be indebted to him for that. Kids over here, obviously, they have their Mac, so they can do their homework, which they do no homework on there. Guess what they do on here? They also play Fortnite on here. This is their third use of where they play Fortnite. So, when their friends come over here, just more and more Fortnite. Allen Iverson, I think that goes without saying who that is, the great Allen Iverson. Kevin Lyde, class of 98. This is my year. He was McDonald's All-American. He was about the 10th highest ranked player in the country. Went to Temple, played there at Temple for 4 years. Second all time in blocks, top 5 in rebounds. that is my guy right here. See his poster right here. Temple is our pick. This is straight out of Sports Illustrated. Temple is our pick to make it out of the East, but even the Owls are only injured away from foul trouble. Got my man in Sports Illustrated. Weird thing is, ironically, as I'm actually at this game, I don't even know Kevin. They're playing Maryland, and in this picture, you have Juan Dixon, Terrence Morris, and my man dunking on everybody. And who knew that 15 years, 20 years later, he'd be picking my kids up from basketball practice, and my kids would be calling him Uncle Kevin. But that's my guy, 2MG, my main man, Kevin Lott. So that's his senior night jersey. Down here, shoes. This is probably one of my most favorite pieces in the entire man cave. Joe Smith, who's actually, I'm probably never, he's the reason I wanted to go to Maryland. I was in Florida, and obviously back then in the game, NCAA, Joe Smith was he was a beast. And so I just, that's why, sounds dumb, but that's the reason he wanted to go to Maryland off a video game. But Joe Smith actually, Big 3 last season, he sees me wearing these socks. And I have on my Terp socks. Anybody knows me, that's all I wear is Terp socks. And he's like, yo, Terp, I love your socks. I said, thanks, Joe, appreciate it. Next week I see him, I got on Terp. He's like, yo, man, I got to get some of them socks. Where you keep getting all them socks? So I said, Joe, man, I'll go to campus. I still live in Maryland, and I'll get you some socks. He's like, really? Yeah. So I go up to campus. Each one of these socks is like $20 a piece. Buy out the whole rack, every last one of them. Give me one of every sock you have. And I go back and I give them to Joe Smith, and he was like, oh, my God, these are for me? Yeah, how much I owe you? I said, come on, Joe, you got to be kidding me, man. It's an honor to give you these. He's like, I'll tell you what, how about these shoes? Is that a fair trade? So, absolutely. So, they're Joe Smith's shoes from the Big 3 season. Next, so that used to be, and it's probably my second favorite piece. This is my favorite piece in my whole man cave. Michael Cooper for the Showtime Lakers. He was the coach for season 2 for Three's Company, and we just built a real great relationship. Great guy, love Michael Cooper, kind of like a nephew, uncle sort of thing. And he's seen me throughout the whole season collecting different pieces of memorabilia from different players. And he says, Mark, what's your favorite piece in your man cave? What's the best thing you got? I said, well, Coop, I don't buy anything. Everything is given to me. So, to be honest with you, probably my Joe Smith shoes. He said, all right, well, at the end of the season, I'm going to have something for you. And I said, okay, Coop. Get to the last week of the season. And he says, Mark, let me talk to you for a second. And he hands me a replica of each one of his. He has a replica made for me specifically of each one of all 5 of his championship rings. So he says this is what he displays. He says, obviously he doesn't walk around with his real rings. Those are locked away somewhere. So he says this is actually what he carries with him. So each one of those exactly made like that. So that's pretty dope. So that is pretty cool. David Hawkins, like I said, Temple's 3rd all-time leading scorer. Big 3. I think he was 2nd in the MVP running. That is my brother, so that is his jersey right here. There's a reason that these guys are right here. This is my family row right here. So Kevin Lott, David Hawkins, both Temple. This is his senior night jersey. Actually scored 41 points against UMass in this jersey to crack 2,000 for his career. Player of the week, everything. That's pretty dope. In here, shoes, Ricky Davis, autographed shoes. He was the leading scorer last year. Jermaine O'Neal's game shoes. Tony Parker's playoff shoes. Dante Jones, the only fight in Big 3 history. If y'all remember last year, fight him, Corey Maggette, Quentin Richardson. It was called a scuffle. Those are the shoes that he actually had in the scuffle. They in the middle of the scuffle, the shoes got ripped. So he told me, Mark, go get me some other shoes out of the locker room. Go get him some other shoes. I never gave him back his shoes. So I just had him sign those at the end. DeMar Johnson. This is my brother here, my co-host, the great DeMar Johnson. This is his Denver Nuggets jersey. So, quick story about this jersey. A lot of people, myself included, are Kobe Bryant fans. And a lot of people would say Kobe Bryant is better than DeMar Johnson. A lot of people would say that. That is your opinion. In this here basement, I'm going to show you that. Read this to you. Kobe Bryant is limited to 18 points by DeMar Johnson as the Lakers' struggles continues. DeMar Johnson had 20 points. That's all you need to know, folks. So, DeMar Johnson had 20, hold Kobe to 18, and they win. As far as I'm concerned, in this here basement, DeMar Johnson is better than Kobe Bryant. I'm just joking. Everybody knows that DeMar Johnson and Kobe Bryant aren't even the same planet. But that being said, this is the jersey that he played and held in our generation the greatest player, Kobe Bryant, to 18 points. So pretty dope. Like I said, to me, Kobe Bryant's our favorite player of this era, and just that he even played against him, to me, that's cool just to be a part of that. Steven Jackson's autographed shoes from this season. Michael Bibby's autograph. So as we move through the man cave, just let you know the man cave is broken up into sections. So we just came from the kids section. I don't even like calling the kids anymore because they're getting older. So the young man's cave. So now over here, this is what we would call the locker room. So if there's one game on, it's a Monday night game, one of my Terps are playing a game, this is where I come over and I just watch my one specific game right here. You got your 70-inch sharp 3D TV, whatever the case may be, Bose, a couple of different memorabilia thing, and this is where I watch. If I have one game to watch, I'll watch one game. Cool thing, like I said, Lamont Jordan was and is still, one of my closest friends. When he signs with Oakland, we've been together for the whole time in New York. We walk into to the Raiders shop fresh off the plane from Maryland. We get out there and we walk into the Raider thing to go pick up a T-shirt, and it's like you see your best friend on the cover of the Raiders calendar. Like, that was kind of cool. And I don't even know what the hell to do with a calendar, but the first time you saw that, and I just went and I bought it, and Lamont was like, "Are you gonna buy everything that I'm on?" I'm like, "Yeah, maybe, Darla. That's kind of cool." Then we have over here, this is the whole season 2 Three's Company wall right here. So Baron Davis, my man DJ DeMar's captain, Baron Davis co-captain, main man Drew Gooden. Derek Byers was with us for the first 3 or 4 games, then he got traded for Dante. Great guy. Andre Emmett. If you do not know who Andre Emmett is, that dude is one of the best scorers. That dude is amazing. That's all I'm going to say. That dude can score like nobody else. And Jason Maxiel. That's my guy. This is the season 1 Three's Company t-shirt. That's Allen Iverson, Andre Owens, DeMar Johnson, Mike Sweetney, David Hawkins, Al Thornton, Courtside Edwards. Swing over here. Wall. This is Lamont's. Can read this is Lamont Jordan. The Raiders will be named NFL Player of the Week. Scored 3 touchdowns and had 160 yards rushing as the Raiders beat up on the Bills. So this was Lamont's jersey when he was NFL Player of the Week. 3 touchdowns. Like, that's pretty dope. You know what I mean? To go from just sitting around the house to all of a sudden your brother's the NFL Player of the Week. So that's his jersey from Player of the Week. Randy Moss, for those who don't remember, Lamont and Randy were the 2 biggest free agent signings of the 2005 Raiders team. So we came in together, flew in together. They sent a plane for Lamont, picked us up in Maryland, went and picked up Randy Moss, and this was Randy Moss. Signed that for me. To your boy Mark, best wishes. I won't say what that says, and then it says Randy Moss. George Gervin, Iceman, needless to say, 50 greatest player. He signed that for me. So, like I said, normally if I have one game, just come down here, kick up my feet, watch my one game, turn this down, and just relax and watch my one game. If I have one game, that's why we call this the locker room. So, you might catch 2 or 3 of us down here on a Monday night watching the game. And, it's just quieter over here. We got the Bose surround sound, 1 TV, got a nice little backdrop. So this right here is what we call the locker room. It's away from the action. It's a little bit quieter than the rest of the basement. So, if you have 1 person or 2 per people, if I watch TV by myself, this is where I'm going to be most of the time. Down here, it's going to be by myself. Let me get out of this seat. As I make my way out of this seat, cool thing about this, you can charge your phone, charge your iPad, whatever the case may be. You can do all of that. And like I said, every seat in here has its own blanket to make sure you stay warm. Coming through here, this is the season 1 Three's Company. DeMar Johnson, Allen Iverson. You have Allen Iverson's past. Mike Sweetney, Andre Owens, my man David Hawkins, Al Thornton, my guy. Coming over here, Legends Wall. Great, the GOAT to the baby GOAT. Nothing else needs to be said. The collection of their Sports Illustrated, and you can always put a Terp in there whenever you can. And so that concludes this over here. Will bring you to the locker room. As we leave out of the locker room, we move over to the next section, which is the bar. Here it is, voila, the bar. This is the door, leads you to outside. We got a lot of smokers coming through here. No smoking inside, so you take that straight outside. There's a door right there. Got your Maryland banners, Maryland Fathead. 2 different types of bar stools. We have the straight, traditional, up and down Maryland bar stools. Then we got your old-fashioned round bar stools that move. Pretty dope. Got the bar. Got my 2 different bottle openers. One from the state of Florida, which is my hometown, and one from the state of Maryland, which is also my hometown. So you got 2 different bottle openers right there. Of course, you got your Maryland shot glasses. Got to use coasters like you got some sense in your house. Mark's Man Cave, Terps fans only. Then behind the bar, two NBA legends in my book. Rick Mahorn and Charles Oakley. Grew up watching both of them, and I can actually honestly say now I consider both of them a friend. Rick Mahorn, talk to on a regular basis. Probably one of the nicest dudes you ever meet. Charles Oakley is Charles Oakley. That he's everything you would think he is. Pretty cool though. Gotta love Oak. Call him Uncle Oak and Uncle Rick. Keyshawn Johnson, probably one of my favorite Buccaneers. That's his autographed jersey. Picture of me and him at training camp. Got mine, Buccaneers, fat head. This is the bar. I could go behind there and show you how much alcohol is behind there, but it's not that type of show, and I don't want to promote alcohol. But do know that the alcohol collection is second to pretty much none. I just don't want to promote alcohol like that. But the alcohol collection is real. Over here again, you got the bar stool, round one, traditional one. You know how in every Sunday, everybody's house, you always got that guy who just makes up the stats as it goes, and he's just always just making up, oh yeah, that's why Brett Favre got more touchdowns than anybody. So we had specifically put down a computer down here. So anybody would say fact check. Somebody says something that don't sound right to us, man, take that to the computer. And we go straight back there and you check this out. We got a 32-inch my iMac down here specifically to fact check people who just make it up as they're going along. So you come down here, type it up, and you be like, nah, that ain't right. And if you make up a stat and you get called on it, send it over there, fact check. Shot glasses are right here for you. You take your shot for making up stats that didn't exist. So that's why that computer is there. Over here, this is what is known as the wall. So this is just a picture of pretty much everybody in my journey through sports and just my journey through life, more to say. All the people I've come across. Too many people to even really name to go through. I guess just scroll through. We can give you quick ones. Let's see who we got that might jump out at you. It's me, LeVar Arrington, Lamont Jordan, Gary Payton's birthday party, Adam Sandler, Michael Rappaport, one of my favorite guys, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. Nothing but respect for that guy. Dinner in Vegas. I'm not going to say we was the mob, but it was after they closed and we was the only people in the restaurant. It's me, Kenya Martin, DJ, my man Worm. So, not saying we the mob, but that's pretty dope to eat in a restaurant after they close and be the only people in there, and you don't even get no bill. Albert Hainsworth, Clyde Drexler, like I said, Rick Mahorn. This is one of my favorite pictures. This is Allen Iverson as the coach, and on the bench is David Hawkins, DJ, and me. So that's basically my two brothers, myself, and Allen Iverson all together on the bench. That's pretty dope. Kenya Martin, right after he won the championship, the Big Three championship that is, LL Cool J, Ice Cube, Snoop, Kevin Durant, Cedric the Entertainer. Basically just, you know, whatever. This is signing day. Same day, Lamont Jordan, Randy Moss, 2005. Came in, same plane, signed with the Raiders. That's just pretty dope, the three of us on signing day. As a Maryland fan, also another one of my favorites, interviewing Gary Williams and LL. Like I said, just we'll scale through that later, but just basically Adrian Peterson. First time Allen Iverson came on our show with me and DJ. So it's me and DeMar Johnson and Allen Iverson doing an interview with us. Just a journey through everything, you know. It's pretty cool. This is also another one of my favorite pictures in terms of this is season 1, and this is the last game of season 1 for Three's Company, and it's the whole picture. It's the whole team picture. It's kind of dark, but you can see that's just the whole team right there, and it's just pretty dope. It's all of us right before for the last time going on the court. Allen Iverson's jewelry is the only thing that lights up the whole picture just about, and that's that. Go back through over here. Got your popcorn. Turn on some popcorn. See if we can't get some popcorn done for us before we finish the show. Got your popcorn machine. So as we leave from out of the bar area, we'll transition in over here. This is what we would call the Skybox. So you want to come over here. You know, on Sundays, normally a lot of people over here. So you get your little luxury suite over here. So in the Skybox, like I said, you're going to have your own popcorn machine. You have a fridge, mini fridge, which is going to encompass, I am Jamaican, so we are going to get heavy doses of Red Stripe. And just about any beer you want, whatever beer you like, that'll be in here. Condiments, all of that such stuff. Skybox, trash can, ginger ale, mixers. Oh, forgot to mention, custom carpet. Notice that. You gotta fear the Terps. So that lets you know that you are now entering the Skybox as we transition into another period. Got the Lamont Jordan jersey, Adrian Peterson jersey. In the Skybox, what Skybox would be complete without your own personal table? This is where you eat, chill, you can watch your movies, you got YouTube. This TV is actually, not only is it a TV, obviously, where you can watch any game that you want, you can also, it is attached to a Mac Mini, so it turns into, let's see, which one is this? It turns into a iMac as well. So that's pretty dope. As you can see there, you got your wireless keyboard, you got your wireless mouse. So while you're over here, a lot of times, like I said, if somebody might come on a date to the man cave, which is, I don't know, but people do it. Come back here, sit, pick whatever game you want to watch. You can watch something on YouTube, can watch whatever the case may be, and do this. Also, from the podcast, for those who remember, this is when DJ is out of town. This is actually the TV that he broadcasts on. Hence the reason we have this Slimbotron nameplate. He has his own nameplate. It's pretty dope. DeMar Johnson, Slimbotron. So while we're doing a podcast, we can FaceTime in, and DJ will be on that screen as we do our talk. But this is the Skybox area. Pretty laid back, chill over here. Got your own personal music stadium sound system over here. Again, it does get cold, so everybody gets their own blanket. Michael Cooper jersey. Kevin Durant jersey. Coop's on that pretty dope. Lakers, champs, got everything on there. Kevin Durant, hometown. One of the best guys. Don't think it needs to say anything about that, but he is an awesome dude. Clyde Drexler, the commissioner. As we leave out of the Skybox area, you'll notice it's broken up by, again, you get another strip of custom Maryland carpet that lets you know you are now leaving the Skybox area. Luxurious section, boom, closed. Mike Bibby jersey, my guy, one of my favorite players on the Big Three. Non-stop laughs, one of the most down-to-earth dudes, just a ball of fun, man. Like the dude, I can't say enough about Mike Bibby's. Funny dude, down-to-earth, one of the most humble people you'll meet. Love Mike Bibby, excuse me. Gary Payton, like the reputation about him is that he talks, and that's all. That man talks non-stop. In 2 years, I've probably been out with Gary Payton 30 to 40 times. I have never seen Gary Payton turn out an autograph. Like, he talks to anybody, and, you know, it's funny, but he does. Like, he's really humble. I've never seen him turn down an autograph or even be rude to a fan or whatever the case may be. He's all about his business. Great dude. He'll talk, but he will talk to anybody. Doesn't think he's better than anybody. And like I said, I've never seen him turn down an autograph. One of my favorite players, Gary Payton. You invited me to his house. You know, Mark, make sure that when we go to Vegas, you come by the house. Like, you know, been to his house in Oakland. Like, great dude. That's all I can say. Great dude. Allen Iverson's Georgetown jersey. As we go over here, we transition as we leave from there. You're now in the courtside section. So on Sunday, this is where the courtside takes place. So as you sit down here, you can watch any one of, we got 5 televisions here, so you can watch 5 different games. You got your fireplace, got your seating area. Again, every single seat has its own throw. Make sure you stay warm. Fantasy ticker up the top, so you make sure you don't miss anything. And then as we move on down here, Dr. J autographed jersey. Kenyon Martin autographed jersey. 2MG, much love, fam for life. Kenyon Martin. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. A lot of y'all don't know who that is. I suggest you go check on YouTube. Before there was Steph Curry, there was Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. And before the NFL kicked Kaepernick out, the NBA kicked him out. So he was Chris Jackson, one of the baddest players who ever played. That's my guy right there. Nothing but respect and love for him. And over there, we start with Ron Artest. And in this corner, we end with Steven Jackson. Again, stack, one love, family, blessed. Steven Jackson forever. And so we call that over there. That is courtside, so that's where you get the best seats. And then I guess we'll call this Smitty section over here. It's my one friend Smitty. He sits here, and on Sunday you can sit right here, and this is what we call floor seats. Do you have floor seats? That's one of the best seats in the house. You can sit right here. You got the fireplace keeping you nice and cozy. You got a front row seat to watch 5 different football games, sports ticker, anything you like. And so these right here, these are the best. These are the hardest seats in the house to get. Call them floor seats. It's a pretty good seat, no bad seat. You can see whatever you want, hear whatever you want, and also you can always lay down. A lot of people up here for a long day get to lay down, but you know, that is what you got over here. Had this custom built for me. Fireplace, like I said, it does get very cold down here, so built-in fireplace. Game balls, Lamont Jordan's touchdown ball. From I have a majority of his touchdown balls, but a couple of them are on display. So this touchdown, the second touchdown of the game. Then you have Derrick Brooks autograph football, a Santana Moss autograph football. It's another Lamont, pretty little cool thing. And those come on and light up. And purposely didn't show you this whole side of the wall, And we can show you, first of all, right here, you got my man Testudo. Every Terp should have that in the house. Testudo, that's a life-size Testudo. Rub his nose for good luck. And then this whole side of the basement, as we'll pan through it, is basically the entire history of sports from 1984 up into current date. I have every single Sports Illustrated since 1984. And like I said, as you go down this entire wall and we'll zoom through it, you can get the entire history of everything that's happened through sports over the last 30 years. So instead of having a wall, you know, a lot of people have wallpaper or something painted. I just wanted to go back through history. Jeremy Lin, Dak Prescott. It's like, these are things that people don't, that the history will forget, and a lot of times people get prisoner in the moment, and I want to put these things up here so people remember. Who was this guy when Kurt Warner came out of the middle of nowhere? Usain Bolt, Tiger taking over the world, Iverson, Michael Vick, Tim Tebow. Who can forget Tim Tebow? Mariano Rivera, you know, Ronda Rousey. People will even forget, like, that's why you have this wall, is like, Ronda Rousey. Think about just reading back over all these highlights from back in the day, headlines. Ronda Rousey is the world's most dominant athlete. Remember they were talking about whether she could beat Floyd Mayweather. It's like, no, that just, you know, Baker Mayfield, Ichiro, Floyd Mayweather, Steph. A lot of people look at something like this and they'll be like, Steve Nash and Dwight Howard were on the Lakers? Yeah, that actually happened. Steve Nash and, you know, they were on the cover of the NBA preview. Cavs, people forget, Shaq and LeBron were on the same team. So that's what this whole wall is about. It's just Tyler Hansbrough. You know, history will forget him, but he won't be forgotten around here. Tyler Hansbrough, one of the, you know, he's the all-time leading scorer in the ACC. This one team, I bet you know, most people don't even remember that. Kevin Garnett, Darren Williams, Paul Pierce, Joe Jackson. Like, that was a stacked team. The Legion of Boom, Lamar Jackson, excuse me. Scottie Pippen was on the Rockets. A lot of people forget that as well. Chris Johnson, 2,000 yards rushing. A lot of people will forget that. Adrian Peterson, Bryce Harper's rookie year right there. Little sister. A lot of people will forget that at one point in time, Serena Williams was Venus's, you know, she was the second sister, you know, and, you know, Venus, she came out of nowhere. Latrell Sprewell, gotta love that. Iverson, one of my personal favorites because that's my homeboy. Kenyon Martin. Tim Tebow, when he was coming through, just destroying everybody, just winning, I should say, not destroying everybody, but he was winning. Melo runs through college basketball, wins a national championship. Conor McGregor. Like I said, it's just a history. Shawn Merriman running through football. And if you just go through all of these, Michael Phelps, Jordan, RG3, scroll back through here. Michael Jordan, Juan Dixon actually signed, Peyton Manning. Oh, as you go through here, we'll go back through there. And that's the bathroom that leads right through to the other side. RG3, that's one of the dope ones. Ryan Leaf, people don't even remember that Ryan Leaf, there was a debate whether between him and Peyton Manning. Reading this locker, Jake Locker, Cam Newton, Blaine Gabbert, too tough to call. Think about that. Jake Locker, Cam Newton, Blaine Gabbert, too tough to call. How silly does that sound? Like, you know, this Cam Newton is so much better than them, it's not even funny. Jeremy Lin, I remember when Jeremy Lin, everybody thought Jeremy Lin was going to take over the world. Our national championships at Maryland. This one right here is also really funny. If you zoom in on this right here, this is the Bulls. It says, why the Patriots don't win and why Steve Spurrier doesn't lose. How dumb does that sound right about now? The Patriots, all they do is win, and Steve Spurrier never did win in the NFL. But that's just kind of funny to show you that Lance Armstrong once was on top of the world. Jordan. RG3. Scroll over through here. Record breaking. Usain Bolt came out of nowhere, 9.58. Coming together, of that Heat dynasty. This is the second most impressive championship performance I've ever seen, Peter Warwick. And the first, right there, Vince Young's performance and whatchamacallit. So, again, like I said, then we got my own brother, Lamont Jordan, on the cover of the college football issue. Kevin Durant signed. Randall, favorite player. Shaq and Kobe beefing. Pat Tillman. Manny Ramirez. Michael Jordan walking away. Mike Tyson knocking Spinks out in 91 seconds. The bag at Michael from Sports Illustrated. Michael Jordan never talked to Sports Illustrated again after that. Bobby Knight gets fired. Dream Team. Michael, basically you get the gist. It's just the history of everything that happened in sports over the last 20 to 30 years captured through Sports Illustrated. There's the guy I was telling you about. This is when he was Chris Jackson before he changed to Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. the Malice at the Palace. Got that on there. Yao Ming's arrival to the NBA. Bo Jackson, the new era. This is their draft class. With Cavs, Melo, and whatchamacallit. Who can forget Sammy Sosa, run through history. Rest in peace, Len Bias. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. This is before they were even champions. LeVar Arrington, another personal friend. Who can forget Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet, getting knocked out for Buster Douglas on the cover of Sports Illustrated, looking for his mouthpiece. We'll never forget Brandy Chastain and the U.S. women's soccer team. Michael Johnson. Before we had Usain Bolt, we had Michael Johnson running away from everybody. Just to sort of versatility. You got Bumgarner, the greatest Wimbledon match ever. I think it was like 5 or 6 hours long. Got that on here. Peyton Manning takes over. Steven Strasburg, who can forget that? Bryce Harper, who can forget that? LeBron's first cover, the chosen one, in high school. McNair, when he was in college. Rest in peace, Steve McNair. So basically, this is just the history of sports. You even got the Triple Crown in here. American Pharaoh wins the Triple Crown. That made it on the wall. Danica Patrick made it on the wall. So it is not just basketball and football. It is literally the history of sports. And over the past 20 years, Barry Sanders leaving. So that's pretty dope to me, at least. And it's just my history of what you call it. Looks like our popcorn is ready. Get ourselves a little popcorn as we finish walking. And like I said, as we conclude the tours, we walk back through the Skybox. What Skybox wouldn't be complete without its own personal bathroom. As you walk through here, nothing special, just a traditional bathroom. Shower. And then, as you come through here, right back where we started on the kids' side of the man cave. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming along this tour with me and allowing me to share with you my man cave. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about it. Unfortunately, everybody cannot make it over here to the man cave. But here, it was my chance to share that with you. And again, please make sure that you all tune in to the podcast. Like, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the Players Voice channel and like other videos. And please share. And that's how we help grow. And stay on the lookout for different guests. Will be a different guest every week sharing their life story through sports with me. And so make sure you guys all check it out. And again, appreciate it. And I'll see you later. Sometimes, like late at night, come down here. And this is what we call the money seat. This is on the low. I'll give you a little secret. The best seat in the house. This one chair right here. You can sit, position yourself properly right here. You can watch that television, that television, that television. And from this seat right here, you can actually watch 7 different games at one time if you sit here properly. You swivel from here to here. And still have access to the computer right here. Which you could technically put a game on here too if you like. But at least have your fantasy scores, whatever the case may be. So this seat right here, while we have the floor seats down there, it might be, some could argue, is the best seat in the house. If you know, and you're a gambling man, this is the best seat in the house. This is the only seat in the house where you can watch 7 different games at the same time. Clear as day too. So that's just a little tidbit. And you still got your Maryland sign right there. 7 games right here from this seat. Just pivot over, pivot over, pivot over.